Starting with crypto in 2019, which coins I would buy with 1,000 US dollars if I'd be starting out today in the cryptocurrency space. I'm Kieran from CryptoBulls, really happy to have you here with me today. In this short video, I'm going to just show you my insights, my personal opinion. Remember, this is not financial advice on which coins I would be personally buying at the current price in the space at the moment with 1,000 US dollars in capital. Now, remember, when entering the space, first of all, the cryptocurrency market is very volatile. So you have to be aware that any point of time, if you put money into the space, you should be prepared to lose everything, as it's a very speculative and volatile market. Second of all, just because I chose these coins here doesn't mean that you cannot have any other coins that you would like to buy. I'd suggest to maybe read up on the different coins that exist and make your own informed decisions. So do your own research. This is just my opinion on which coins I'd like to get, and also explain why I've made the current decision. So here I've got different hearts. These are the ones I selected. I can now just show my hearts on CoinCheckup. And I've got Bitcoin on my list, Ethereum, which is now 308 US dollars, XRP at 40 cents, EOS at $5.96, Cardano at 8 cents, IOTA at 39 cents, and VeChain at less than 1 cent. Now, they have been performing pretty well over the last 30 days, or more or less the average of these 7 coins have been doing pretty well. And even over the last 90 days have been doing extremely well, especially if you look at an average. Now, the reason why I'm not just putting all my cash into one coin is, even though the space is very risky, I want to diversify my risk in a certain way, to have a little bit of diversification, not putting all my money into just one single coin, because it could be that one coin or another one just pumps up, and hopefully over the time span of maybe a few months or a few years, the average percentage gain is going to be higher than if I just put all my money into Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP and so on. You might have a different strategy, but that's the strategy I like to use, especially also when using more capital. Now here I've got also a nice spreadsheet with a short description and the current price of the coins. So Bitcoin is mostly known as Bitcoin as Gold 2.0. I think Bitcoin is the oldest cryptocurrency here in the space. I think it's very important that everyone has a little bit of that in their portfolio. That's why I chose Gold 2.0. I think the more people realize, especially wealthy people, realize how liquid Bitcoin is, and that they can hedge against a financial crisis, hedge against inflation, fiat inflation, and so on, they're going to look for different assets where they can put a lot of money inside of it, and also looking for assets that are very liquid. Now, wealthy people, when they put money into or they try to hedge against financial crisis or to hedge against inflation, they're going to be looking for markets, commodity markets, maybe also gold, silver, or even famous paintings and so on, because those assets tend to keep their value. But however, with most of these assets are not very, first of all, they're not very liquid. It's not as easy to sell a famous painting, and it's not so easy to sell gold. I mean, you can sell gold. Probably selling gold is much easier than selling a painting. However, with gold and the painting, it's also not very easy to cut them in half, or maybe sell only half of it, and so on. So in my opinion, Gold 2.0 Bitcoin is going to be very valuable, especially for rich people who want to hedge against inflation, financial crisis, and just keep their money in a safe space where they can actually also transform it back to fiat relatively fast and with relatively low fees. The second one on our list, I'm pretty happy, I like that a lot as well, is programmable money and smart contracts, and that is Ethereum. And the producer is Vitalik Buterin. at the moment at around $309. And I think it's a very interesting concept where there's it's a blockchain network with a lot of dApps running on it, but the interesting part is that you can create smart contracts that do different things. You can more or less program the contract to make a payment at a certain time and date. You can maybe, for example, have an insurance company more or less run on the Ethereum network where everyone is betting that something is going to happen. For example, a good example for that would be many people, they pay maybe $10 and they bet that they will miss their flights, and there's maybe 200 people betting, and when one person his flight gets cancelled, then he gets paid through the other people who more or less lost their bet. However, that's more or less how insurances work, but you could also do all of that through a programmable way. Now, XRP is the XRP Enterprise Payment Settlement Network, which would help banks transact money between each other much faster and with a lot lower fees. So I think that's also a good asset to have in your portfolio. EOS dApp framework with delegate proof of stake. I think it's got a lot of potential. We've got Cardano on our list. Cardano is a smart contract platform that offers scalability, security through layered architecture. So Cardano is similar to EOS and Ethereum. VeChain is a blockchain-enabled platform that is designed to enhance supply chain management process. I think it's got a lot of potential in the market. The market is massive, and in my opinion, it's got a lot of growth potential in that market as soon as it takes off even more. And the supply chain market is around $50 trillion. And should VeChain manage to get only a few percentage? I made a video on that. I'll link it down below. And if VeChain managed to just get a small percentage of that, in my opinion, it's pretty good. And then here we've got IOTA, Internet of Things, a cryptocurrency designed to empower IoT devices to make microtransactions, so machine-to-machine transactions, feeless. And in my opinion, IOTA is doing the IOTA company are doing a lot of new partnerships, and yeah, they've got a lot of growth in the last 2 years with partnerships and development. So all in all, that's my personal opinion. I think this is a diversified portfolio with different cryptocurrencies that have different goals. So they're not all trying to achieve the same thing, and they're more or less not competing against each other apart from Ethereum, Cardano, and EOS. The other ones are not interfering that much between each other. So I split up the percentage wise. So for this portfolio, I would have 20% Bitcoin, 20% Ethereum, 20% XRP, and then 10% EOS, 10% Cardano, and 10% VeChain, and 10% IOTA. So yeah, that's more or less the portfolio I would personally buy with $1,000. Now, of course, you can go another way and just put 50% in Bitcoin and 50% on Ethereum. If you prefer doing that, in my opinion, there's no real or right way to make a portfolio. It's all based on personal preferences. It's all based on if you like what the company is doing, if you like what kind of services they're providing, or what kind of utility or value they're providing to you. So for example, Bitcoin is not a company, but in my opinion, the value that it's providing is decentralized digital cash or digital gold, how you might say. So it's less of digital cash. I would call it more digital gold 2.0. And yeah, in my opinion, that's how I would build this cryptocurrency. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate, and you can leave them down in the comments below. I'll try and answer them, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great one. Bye bye.